Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtatarashta Shri Srimad Abhay Charan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Nama Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Radha Kund Shyama Kund Giri Govardhan ki Vrindavan Dham ki Mayapur Dham ki Ganga Mai ki Yamuna Mai ki Tulsi Devi ki Bhakti Devi ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4 and Text 8. Text 8. 8. The 7 was done yesterday. Devodhyana Shriya Jushtam Adhyaste Sma Tripishtapam Mahendra Bhavanam Saksha Nirmitam Vishvakarmana Trailokya Lakshmyayantam Adhyuvasa Khila. Okay. Adhyuvasa Akhila Ridimataha Devodhyana Shriya Jushtam Adhyaste Smatripishtapam Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan Nirmitam Vishvakarmata Trailokya Lakshmyam Ayatanam Adhyuvasa Khilar Dhimat Devodhyana Shriya Jushtam Adhyaste Smatripishtapam Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan Nirmitam Vishvakarmana Trailokya Lakshmyam Ayatanam Adhyuvasa Khilardhiti Mat
Devodhyana Sriyajushtam Adhyaste Smatripishtapam Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan Nirmitam Vishvakarmana Trailokya Lakshmyam Ayatanam Adhyuvasa Khilardhima Devodhyana Sriyajushtam Adhyaste Smatripishtapam
Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan Nirmitam Vishvakarmana Trailokya Lakshmyayatanam Adhyuvasa Khilardhima
Devodhyana Sriyajushtam Adhyaste Smatripishtapam Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan Nirmitam Vishvakarmana Trailokya Lakshmyayatanam Adhyuvasa Khilardhima.
So should I read? Okay. Okay, it's just we do English. Okay. Deva Udyana of the famous garden of the demigods. Shriya by the opulences. Jushtam enriched. Adhyastesma remain in. Tripishtapam the higher planetary system where various demigods live. Mahendra Bhavanam the palace of Indra, the king of heaven. Sakshat directly. Nirmitam constructed. Vishvakarmana by the famous architect of the demigods. Vishvakarma. Trailokya of all the three worlds. Lakshmi Ayatanam the residence of the demigods, the residence of the goddess of fortune. Adhyuvasa lived in. Akilaridimat possessing the opulence of the entire universe. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Hiranyakashipu, who possessed all opulence, began residing in heaven with its famous Nandana garden, which is enjoyed by the demigods. In fact, he resided in the most opulent palace of Indra, the king of heaven. The palace had been directly constructed by the demigod architect Vishvakarma and was as beautifully made as if the goddess of fortune of the entire universe resided there. Purport. From the description it appears that all the heavenly planets of the upper planetary system are thousands upon thousands of times more opulent than the lower planetary system in which we live. Vishwakarma, the famous heavenly architect, is known as the constructor of many wonderful buildings in the upper planets, where there are not only beautiful buildings, but also many opulent gardens and parks, which are described as Nandana Devodhyana, gardens quite fit to be enjoyed by the demigods. This description of the upper planetary system and its opulences is to be understood from authoritative scriptures like the Vedic literatures. Telescopes and the other imperfect instruments of scientists are inadequate for evaluating the upper planetary system. Although such instruments are needed because the vision of the so-called scientists is imperfect, the instruments themselves are also imperfect. Therefore, the upper planets cannot be apprised by imperfect men using imperfect man-made instruments. Direct information received from the Vedic literature, however, is perfect. We therefore cannot accept the statements that there are no opulent residences on the planets other than this earth. Hare Krishna. So yeah, here we see Hiranyakashipu, then no, he made it, right? He got what he was asking for, opulence, and seemingly like unlimited opulence. Everything just perfect, whatever he wanted. But that itself, it does not really give him the satisfaction when we see later on how it unfolds. So he is in illusion. He is in illusion that this material world, even though it's temporary, but it's for my enjoyment. He doesn't see the reality. The reality that now it's manifested, and after some time, again it will be dissolved. So that's due to Kala, Krishna, time. And our responsibility then is to utilize the time properly. We have got some time to do things. That there is a time what we should do in the morning. There's a time what we should do at noon. And there's a time what we should do afternoon, evening, and night. Everything has its own time. And when we properly utilize the time, then we can say that we are properly utilizing the human form of life which was given to us. But if we are abusing the facility, if we are not fulfilling our responsibilities, then it's irreligious and it's due to Maya. We are illusioned that we don't have to do. Many people are very bewildered by the opulences of the heaven. They want to go there. I'm not sure if I mentioned here before, but in Mayapur, there was one brahmachari with a Gaudiya mat, one of the Gaudiya mats. And he was Nashtika brahmachari. And somebody asked him, now, why did you become Nashtika Brahmachari. You are doing devotional service, so you must want to serve Krishna, go to Goloka, the spiritual world. And he said, actually, I became a devotee, I became a Nashtika Brahmachari because I want to go to heaven. Why? He said, I want to enjoy. And the best way how one can go to heaven is do devotional service, even little devotional service, and then guaranteed you will go to heaven for some time, maybe very long time. So and then, but why? Why wasting the time? I want to enjoy, and so why did it become Nashtika Brahmachari? Because you can also enjoy it and get married, and then you can have some facility, and you can be grihastha. So if I look here, so all the girls, they're like frogs. There's no enjoyment. I don't want to enjoy those. I want to enjoy the heavenly themselves. So that's why I want to go to heaven. So now you see, you can judge for yourself. Is it good? Is it bad? What are your desires? What do you want? Why you perform devotional service? Each of us. There are devotees, the Sakama Bhaktas, they are performing devotional service with the understanding like, I do what I like. And because Guru says so, Shastra says so, then I offer the results to Krishna. But I'm doing what I want. And it's bhakti. It's low level, but it's bhakti. But ultimately, that's not the best. Better than that is nishkama. You don't do things what you like to do. See what Krishna likes you to do. Do that. And then that level of bhakti is higher. We are directly fulfilling the desires of the Lord. And when we develop our bhakti even further, then achieve prema bhakti. Being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, the Anandamaya platform. So that's the aim. That's the purpose of human life. Not that we are wasting it. And we have to be very careful and very conscious not to misuse it. And misuse it, it can be done anyway. How do we misuse our time? Or why do we misuse our time? What makes us? We know what's the best. We hear. Guru Sadhu Shastra says, what's the best for us? But why we don't do what's the best for us? Because we are conditioned. So our conditioning, then it's going to act like Hiranyakashipu. If I can get riches, I can get opulence, I can get power, then I'll go for it. Right? There's a saying, every man has a price. Somebody wants you to do something. Then he pays you. And if it's something very difficult, he pays you more. So it's a price. How much do you want for doing it? And if it's something illegal, you want even more than that. So every conditioned entity would go for it, because that means opulence, power, enjoyment. So as long as we are maintaining the conditioning, we are conditioned. And people can exploit it. Anybody can exploit it. Maya will get us on that. Only person who is pure, no material desires, such person, then you cannot bribe, you cannot pay, he has no price. He doesn't care for the material opulence. Now we see Prahlad Maharaj, after the pastime, right, after Hiranyakashipu is killed, then he is being offered anything, whatever he wants, by Nrsimhadev. And what is he saying? I don't want anything. In fact, if I would ask for something, then I would feel like a businessman. I would feel like that, no, I did this so that I can get something from you. But I didn't do it. It's a seva. I'm performing devotional service. Devotional service means what? You do the service without expectation, anything. No expectations. That's service. When you are expecting that somebody pays you, somebody gives you something, or somebody tells you something, the expectation makes it like a business. That's not pure seva. So this is what we can practice. That's something which is very important. How we perform our devotional service. For whose pleasure? We may be doing something very austere, but for that we expect, because I'm doing it here, I need facility, I want that facility. Without it, I'm not going to do it. No. It's a service, but what quality service? It's not the best. The topmost service is that we offer our service without expecting anything back. So from that, we get the most satisfaction, because we actually pleased the Lord, or pleased the Vaishnavas. So that's our aim, how we can properly serve, because we are all servants, and the service is the means. It's abhideya, right? It's the means of how we can reciprocate with the Lord. So without service, it's not going to happen. So how we serve, it must be understood. The service means then without expectations. Amanina. and it's with full surrender. If that's there, then yes, we can talk about the ultimate result of bhakti. We see Hiranyakashipu, then he wasn't surrendered, and no, he didn't do it without expectation. And yes, he got a lot, but it was material, it stays material, and he will lose it. It's temporary. We should focus on, this is not for us. We need something higher than that. There was one king, and it is said that he was very cruel. He was living in Romania, Europe. Vlad. You know Vlad? Then he was teaching in one way people to be detached. But he was doing it, well, like a material way. So what he did, that he would take huge amount of gold and he would place it outside of a village. Free, just like that, it's there. And if anybody would steal it, then the whole village will get killed. So the villagers, they were freaking out. They had to protect that because their life depends on that. So he teaches people, you do a crime, you get punished. And even if you don't do a crime, but your crime is that you are near of it, or you are responsible for that, and you don't take care of it, that's also your crime, and you also get killed. So very cruel. Now actually, the Vlad, all the stories about Vlad, this is what Dracula is. So you can imagine how people like him, right? But similar Vena. Vena also was very cruel. And at least at the beginning of his rule, then he was very strict, and anything would go wrong, just kill. So people were afraid to do anything. But at that time, at least he had some respect for Brahmanas. Later on, he became so proud, so overconfident, that he even lost the respect for the Brahmanas, and then he got killed. So that's not the way how we should serve the Lord. We have to understand then what does the Lord want? What is pleasing the Lord? Many brahmacharis, they have a problem with understanding actually what service means, because nobody is really teaching what service means, right? In the Shastra we have 4 kinds of servants. The first class servant, he does his service without being asked. He understands what to do. He is so conscious that he knows what needs to be done. Like, for example, some of the servants of Srila Prabhupada, they were so trained that like Srila Prabhupada would be in the room, and then he is there and he just like looks at the fan, and when the fan is on, the servant understands they should turn it off. If the fan is off, that means he should turn it on. There's no need to do anything else. That's consciousness. That's what one is eager to serve. Therefore, one understands how to serve. If I'm not eager to serve, I'm only looking for somebody must tell me what to do, and then if I want to, I'll do it. So the first class servant, he knows what to do without being even told. Second class servant is that when he is told what to do, he does it perfectly. Just mention, and it's perfectly done. Time, place, circumstance. Not later, not earlier, not his way. Like once Srila Prabhupada, he asked for a glass of water. That the servant, he would go. Prabhupada was giving some class, and then asked for a glass of water. So, and now after some time, the water is not coming, and now some minutes later, glass of hot milk comes. I didn't ask for milk, I asked for water. But yeah, Prabhupada, but milk is better than water. It's true. But he asked for water. And through speculation, I think like that. Now I think that I put my interpretations into this, and I come up with some speculation because I think it's better. So what kind of servant is this? It's not first class, it's not second class. In fact, the third class servant, he does things what he's supposed to do, but in his own time. He is asked, okay, bring something now in 5 minutes. He comes now 15 minutes later, oh okay, no, here it is. I could not get it, and then I had to wait. I had to go to the bathroom, whatever reasons. He does it, he does it, but in his own time space. There's a third class servant. And fourth class servant, you can tell him what to do, and it's not going to get done. So we should be aiming at least to become the second class servant. That means when we are asked to do something, then we should do it perfectly, exactly as it's supposed to be, not our interpretations put into it. That's from that, then we can develop the consciousness and be aware of what needs to be done. Now, like we mentioned before, Shyamananda Pandit, his consciousness is such, he knows what to sweep, how to sweep, such a way so he attracts the attention of Radha Krishna, because he does it as a service. It's a consciousness. The external activity is not that important. It's just the means. If the consciousness is right, the external automatically happens perfectly. You have a small child. The small child, he wants to please his father. So then, he brings something. But because now he is small, he is a little bit not perfect, right? So he drops it. So the father, he doesn't become angry, because the desire of the child was to please the father. That's the most important. Then actually, if it happens or not, that's not as important. The intention is. That we have to understand. If we are trying to see that we try to make the result perfect. But if our sambandha, the relationship, is wrong, how can the prayojana be right? It won't. We may act very humble, we may do things, okay, I had done it, no, here it is, take it. What service is this? Who is going to be pleased? It's not the way. So that's how we end up like Hiranyakashipu, only everything for ourselves. And we expect everybody to serve us, not that we are servants. But for devotees, no, it's different. We have to learn how to serve. And through the service, then we can progress. We can develop our consciousness into Krishna consciousness. And everything will be revealed to us. But without that, how are we going to do it? We are not going to be pleasing anyone. We are only trying to please ourselves. That's the conditioning. Aham mameti. But that's not what we are aiming for. That's not why we became devotees. Many times, okay, few times I saw it. There are devotees in Mayapur. Then brahmacharis. When it comes to serving prasad, then they just, they don't care. Some don't care. When you ask them, just serve it, just give it. When you ask them, and what about at your home? Is your mother serving? How were you taught how to serve? Differently. Now you ask, you give as much as the person wants. Before it's finished, the subject, you ask again if he wants. But then you ask, but why you are not serving like that? No, now you know how to serve, but you are not doing it. Yeah, but that's Maya. That's from my karmi life. When I become a devotee, then I have to do it differently. And that's a reality. I have heard it actually. It's very sad. The devotees, they come with good skills, and especially in India. You know how to do things. You learned. But then, by some idea, you think that this is Maya. You should give it up and do it differently, which is wrong. There's no need for that. Whatever you have learned the culture, the Vedic culture. That's something which should be utilized in your life. How to apply it. Cleanliness. How we properly maintain the cleanliness. Internal, external. When getting up in the morning, right? Make sure you don't make the place muchi. Because if the place is muchi, you come from taking bath and then you sit on the same bed, which is unclean, then you also become unclean again. But do we care or not? And then going for deity worship. We chant Hare Krishna. It's not like that. We have to be conscious. Going to the toilet. After toilet, then we should wash the hands, feet, and mouth. But many times, no, devotees don't do. So these are basics, and you learn that, but you have to utilize it, you have to apply it in Krishna consciousness, you have to know why you are doing it. Of course, if you are not told what to do and how to do, then even though you may know, but you don't use, because nobody explained. And that's why education is so important. So these things are very important because they are conducive for our devotional life. They on its own, they are not devotion. They are not devotional life. But they are conducive. And therefore, it's good if we utilize them properly. That way then we will be able to give up our anarthas, give up our desires, so then we can just fully focus on chanting of the holy name, serving the Vaishnavas, serving the Lord, and not end up like Hiranyakashipu. Hare Krishna. Now, any questions? Yes. Look, no, not necessarily. If, okay, you want to translate it or, all right, okay. If you are conscious properly, then you won't make a mistake. If you are not fully conscious or you are not sure, then you ask. Srila Prabhupada looks at the fan and then, no, you are not sure, so you may ask, should I turn it on or should I turn it off? Yes. And it's done. It's not wrong. No, just you are unsure. Or you may say, no, I was just looking somewhere else. So to recon from it, it's not wrong. But when you are fully focused, then you understand the other person's needs. So maybe, no, it's a little cold, the fan is running. You also feel a little cold. The person looks at the fan, you understand that it's cold. So you may switch it off. You understand? So it's the level of the consciousness, how much you are conscious of the other person. That's what it matters. Like, no, in the winter, then we see that we start dressing up, right? we put some sweaters, we put some chadars. And many times now you see Srila Prabhupada is sitting there and just not dressed. But it's cold, I am dressing up. Then we should also dress Srila Prabhupada. Right? That's what we do. When it's cold, then Srila Prabhupada gets chadars. During the day, when it gets more hot, then okay, you open the chadars. Same for the deities. Now when we start dressing up, then we know that deities also should get dressed up. More warm. That's being conscious. Now you may not be conscious of it, but it's a rule in the beginning. But then you start becoming conscious of, I feel cold. Krishna also may feel cold. I should make sure that he is not. That's the whole purpose. So with the level of consciousness, the ability to serve increases. Yes? Yeah.
I think you mentioned that different kind of emotional service, Sakam and Islam. So, what we should do, what Krishna likes us to do. Now there is a very broad line of instructions from Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Parama Yoga, Jnana Yoga. 12th chapter we see there are 10 instructions. If you cannot do this, do this. Not this, this.
Right?
Ultimately Krishna says surrender to me.
Right?
Now, because we are not new, the condition is new. So, how to find out what Krishna likes us? What Krishna likes us be?
See, the real way how to find out is you have to consult Guru Sadhu Shastra. So that's how you do it. If you don't know from the Shastra, you ask Guru, you ask Sadhu, how should I understand? What should I do? Right? But sometimes, the devotee, he may be, but no, everybody does that, so I want something special. There was one disciple of Shivara Maharaj, and he was asking, Gurudev, can you give me some service? Yeah, just chant Hare Krishna, just focus and chant. Okay, thank you. But can you give me some service, some personal service? Yeah, but just chant Hare Krishna, that's the best service you can do for me and for Krishna, right? Yeah, that's nice, but can I have some personal service? Okay, all right, take care of my glasses. Oh, thank you, Guruji. Okay, no, fine. So then, he is taking care of the glasses, right? So then, when Maharaja was going from the farm to another city, and then he was in the car, chanting his rounds, and then devotee also was there, and then some hundreds of kilometers away, and Maharaj he puts bead back away, and he takes book out. He said, give me the glasses. And he was, I forgot them there. Okay. Maharaj stopped the car, opened the door, said, go and get them. It was middle of nowhere. So the devotee, he went out, and he had to find a ways how to go back, get the glasses, and go to the place where Maharaj was, and then he just came when Maharaj was leaving. So, Maharaj, here are the glasses. Thank you. And left. So, that's, we are asking personal service, something different. I want to be special. You get something and you're not even able to do it. What's the use? Fourth. Right? So, unconscious. Because I want to be, seen that I'm serving my Gurudev directly. That's why we do. But it's wrong. So, Guru instructs. And in fact, the chant Hare Krishna. Minimum 16 rounds a day. Now, if you have other services, chant 16 rounds at least, and do the other services. He sees, he knows what you are good at. He will instruct you. Or the Vaishnavas, the devotees will instruct you to do. You do. You try. Find the way how to do it. Do it as a nishkama, not as sakama. Oh, I don't like cooking. No, Prabhu, we need some cook. Please, learn how to cook and then start cooking. No, but I don't want to. No. That's not sakama, that's not nishkama. Right? No. So, all right. And then he cooks, and in the beginning maybe not that great, but he does it because he wants to please. So he does his best. And who gives the intelligence how to do that? Krishna. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling, once when he came to Srirangam, there was the devotee who was reading Bhagavad Gita, right? He was upside down. And then his friends kind of was laughing, he's illiterate, he doesn't know how to read, he's reading and useless, stupid, So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired, then you don't know how to read, why you're studying Gita? He said, my Guru instructed me. He told me to read Gita, but I don't know how to read. So what they are doing, I'm just watching the painting, the pictures. And so what's your understanding of Bhagavad Gita? I'm looking at the picture and I see, Krishna, he becomes the charioteer of Arjuna. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he's so kind to his devotees that even he doesn't mind even to go lower than them, because Kshatriya is higher than charioteer. He serves the Vaishnavas. There is no ego thing. If I serve, then they will see me as somebody who is lower. So he appreciated how Krishna, the Supreme, can do anything for his devotees. That was his realization from Bhagavad Gita. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he embraced him. And he said, you understood the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita. There's no need to go for karma yoga, jnana yoga, buddha yoga, any yoga. He was on the highest platform of yoga. It's bhakti. But if you cannot do that, then do this. You cannot do nishkama, then do sakama. Whatever you are comfortable in, you slot in, you do. If you cannot even do sakama, then it will be a pious person. Don't do impious things. Be pious. Don't offer the results, just be pious. Then eventually you will realize that it's not what you should do. But you have to realize it. So then you will get it. But if you start higher, then the process to go to Prema Bhakti, it's faster. If you start lower, it takes longer time. But it's up to you. It's your free will. What do you want to do? You decide. And you will take responsibility for that. Yeah? So, Vedas offer Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. What do we say? We don't follow. We follow the Upasana Kanda. But, so why are they there? Do we criticize karma kanda? We don't criticize. They are Vedas. We don't follow, but we don't criticize. Why? The karma kanda is there for someone. Someone on the low level of consciousness who wants to do things that way. The Vedas are spoken so cleverly that you do that. Karmic activities, but you do them properly. You will get elevated, but slowly, but you will get elevated. You want to eat meat? It's there. You can eat meat. But on a certain kind, on a certain type, right? At certain times. And before that, you have to also do certain ritual. Then you do, you will get reactions, but overall, you will get a little bit elevated. You will get a little bit purified. Do you understand? You want to drink? You can also do. There is a way how to do it. But that's for those whose consciousness is so low. So they will take long time. Devotees don't do. Right? People are trying to stop smoking. It's not happening very well because they have so many desires, and they cannot control themselves. Devotees don't smoke. And do you see devotees kind of like trying to sneak someone behind the corner and start smoking? There's no need for that. There's no thinking of it. Because when you are absorbed in higher level of service, you don't even think about it. Eating meat, no? It's not that the devotees are missing eating meat. You don't think about it. Because it's higher consciousness. You follow? So then that's the way. So Gita approaches many people at many levels. From very bottom to the topmost. Sarva dharma parityaja. If you can do that, then you understood Gita. You can go farther. If you didn't understand, then you have to see what you understand, and then from that you go until you achieve Sarva dharma parityaja. That's the process. And if you don't know how to do it, Guru Sadhu, they help. But you have to be sincere. Pranipata pariprashna. Sevaya. Then you achieve the result. Yes?
There is devotional service, there are things which are conducive to devotional service. So what is the borderline? Like you see there are core activities of Krishna consciousness. Now you get Dhoti Kurta, playing Madanga, playing instrument, and wearing like simple dressing. So many things are there. Using cow products, learning Sanskrit. So what is the borderline? This is the devotional service and this is the process, this is the thing which is conducive to.
See, devotional service is consciousness, right? It's, what's the name of our society? International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So it's the consciousness. So it depends on your nature. Maybe you are very like a study type, right? So then to learn Sanskrit, to learn the shlokas, it will be very beneficial for you, because you can use it, you understand how to apply it, and you can preach that way, and you will be able to speak to different kind of people. If this is not your type, then you get into managing, leading, taking care of things. You have mind very clear in what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. Like if you look at around the temple, so the temple, there is a lot of garbage around. What you guys are doing about it? You don't manage it. Why don't you clean the temple? It's your own temple. Srila Prabhupada, when he would go to visit the temple, even like one little paper somewhere, he would point it out, and he would really be very happy about it. Why don't you maintain? You need laborers, or you are depending on some laborers, some paid laborers will do it for you? Why don't you do it? Once a week, spend like half an hour, just go a little around and then pick up all the garbage, and then you have the place clean. That's management. And when people come, then they see place clean, they get very good impression. But when you come and the kitchen is dirty, outside is dirty, everything is dirty, then the mind cannot really comprehend, and that the impression is not nice. Right? Now if you cannot do that, then you take care of other things. So you can take care of cows, you can take care of agriculture, right? Get into business if you want to. That's how you can engage. So you may not be studying many shlokas or anything, you just engage like that. Serving cows, that's one of the best activity Krishna likes the most. You serve cows. Cows are his favorite animals. Mothers, fathers, right? Do that. You please Krishna. You grow something, for the Vaishnavas, for the deities. You please Krishna. And if you cannot do that, then serve. Just see how you can serve everyone. Just sweep, wipe. It doesn't matter. I had seen one devotee in it was in Europe, in the temple. The devotee would come for Mangalarati, and then after Mangalarati, then he would just chant his rounds, and after that, very early, then what he would do, he starts cleaning, and he sweeps and wipes the temple room, and he sweeps and wipes the guest house, and he sweeps and wipes outside, and he just does it the whole day. And he's just listening to Prabhupada's lectures, and he just happily does that. He's not paid. He's serving, and he is happy serving. He is satisfied, and you can see that he doesn't have any feeling, oh, I have to sweep here every day. He's not thinking like that. I can sweep the temple every day. That's his mood. He's grateful for that. And I can see the devotee is one of the most elevated devotees in the temple. He's most realized. Not those preachers, not book distributors, him. You understand? So that's the consciousness. Hare Krishna. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanande. Jai.